Extension that's reportedly worth 3 years, $165 million with a player option for 2028. He was eligible for as much as a 4-year deal and $222 million, but once this 3-year deal expires, he could sign a 5-year supermax with the Lakers. Doncic would have been eligible for a 5-year, $346 million supermax if the Mavericks had kept him. Instead, they sent him to Los Angeles in a historic and stunning blockbuster trade just about 6 months ago. Let's go ahead and bring in our NBA analyst, John Gonzalez. John, we just went through the details there. This was a pretty easy decision, wasn't it, for Luka to set him up for that supermax down the road, right?
Yeah, this is a way for Luka to re-enter free agency. So when he moved on from the Mavs, or when the Mavs rather moved on from him, it cost him a whole bunch of money because he was set up to get the Supermax contract in Dallas. Once he moves to LA, not eligible for it. So he could have signed, as of today, a 4-year deal. Instead, he signs a 3-year deal for $165 million with that player option, which puts him back into free agency sooner in 2028, where he'll be eligible to, and just everybody take a second, if you're not sitting down, you should, because in 2028, he will be eligible to sign a 5-year deal for $417 million. That is a spicy meatball, but he is going to get that money. So that's why he decided to sign the shorter 3-year deal. And then the Lakers, they're setting this whole thing up to build around him, especially next offseason when they're going to have oodles of cap space. LeBron, his $52 million player option will come off the books. A whole bunch of other players will come off the books, like Rui and Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber and Jackson Hayes, potentially. They might keep some of those guys. But this whole thing is to set up around Luka moving forward for the future.
Yes, it looks like Luka is the star in Tinseltown, moving ahead way down the road. What does it say about the relationship between Luka and the Lakers that they're doing this deal to set up for even a longer-term commitment sometime down the road?
Yeah, I mean, when Luka falls into their lap, this whole thing changes, right? I mean, previously it was LeBron's team. Maybe if Luka doesn't come, you're offering LeBron the 1-and-1, the extra 1 year plus a player option that he wanted this offseason that they ended up denying him. But it changed everything. It changed the total calculus of how the Lakers are going to construct their roster moving forward. When Luka comes, all of a sudden you go, okay, LeBron, we love you. Thank you so much for your service, but we're not going to give you that 1-and-1 deal. You can go ahead and pick up that player option. And in fact, we're happy for you to do that, because then next offseason you come off our books and we're going to have so much cap space that we can then reallocate to build around Luka. So yeah, once Luka goes to LA, the whole thing becomes about a 26-year-old rather than LeBron James, who is now 40 and will be 41 in December.
Right now, the West still seems like it is the Thunder's to win, but with Luka here now, does this kind of maybe change the landscape going forward? You mentioned the cap space. Down the road, is this a place where we could see maybe the beginnings of a super team forming?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, the Lakers are always an attractive destination, right? I mean, I live in Los Angeles. Southern California is beautiful all year round. In the offseason, like, basically the entire league moves here. In August and September, the league goes dormant. The players come out here. They all practice together. There's famous games that run at the UCLA gym. The Los Angeles Lakers are going to be a destination regardless. And then when you add in Luka, absolutely no doubt about it. However, as you mentioned, the West is loaded, right? So right now, this year, the Lakers are going to be in the mix in that like 5, 6, 7 seed, somewhere in that area, because you've got Oklahoma City ahead of them. You've got the Rockets and the Nuggets ahead of them, probably the Clippers. I think they're probably in the mix, the Lakers are, somewhere in that like Golden State Warriors, Minnesota Timberwolves tier, where you're fighting for that final playoff proper spot, or maybe you're in a play-in situation in that 7, 8 seed. But they're going to be good. They were good last year with that 3 seed, but it's really about moving forward. It's not so much about this season for the Lakers, despite the fact that they've got Luka and LeBron, 2 guys who are all NBA. It's really about, you know, who knows how many more years LeBron has left, but it's really about at 26 years old thinking about the future for Luka and the Lakers. And yes, they're going to be a magnet for superstars who might want to play with him in Los Angeles.
All right, Luka and the Lakers tied together for at least a few more years. John Gonzalez, thank you for joining us here with this breaking news on CBS Sports HQ. We touched on it, talking about how and who might win the West. Well, the Thunder right there, still the best odds in the NBA to win the finals, sitting at plus 230. The Lakers there have the 7th best odds at plus 1,700 with how that roster is currently constructed. We'll see if this move makes any waiver extension. That is reportedly 3 years and $165 million with a player option for 2028. He was eligible for as much as 4 years and $222 million. But once this 3-year deal expires, he could sign a 5-year supermax with the Lakers. Doncic would have been eligible for a 5-year, $346 million supermax if the Mavericks had kept him. Instead, they sent him to LA, an historic and stunning blockbuster trade 6 months ago. CBS Sports NBA reporter Sam Quinn is joining us now. Sam, first, your instant reaction to this big breaking news in the NBA.
You know, it's not terribly surprising. The structure, I think, was the only bit of news that we were really waiting on. Was it going to be the full 4 years where he takes as much money as he can guarantee himself right now? Or was he going to be a little bit more strategic in the structure? That's ultimately what he did. He signs the 2+1. He guarantees himself $165 million right now, but he also sets himself up to become a free agent after year 10, where he can cash in on that 35% supermax. It makes all the sense in the world, right? If he was unhappy, we probably would have heard about it sooner. It seemed like from the moment he got in LA, it was a good match. They obviously lose in the first round, but it was a successful regular season. They have a good plan moving forward to get him a co-star. So this makes sense. This is one of the best players in the NBA, uniting with the biggest brand in the sport for several years moving forward.
Let's talk winners and losers on this deal here. And let's go with Luka right off the bat. Why is he a winner here?
Well, he gets to be the face of the Lakers, right? If you look through NBA history, that's a pretty coveted position. You start George Mikan, and then it's a pretty straight shot all the way through NBA history, where outside of a few speed bumps, they've pretty much always had one of the best players in the league. Goes to Elgin Baylor, to Jerry West, to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to Magic Johnson, to Shaq, to Kobe, up through LeBron. Basically all throughout NBA history, if you're the best player on the Lakers, odds are you're going to be winning MVPs, winning championships. You're living in Los Angeles. It's very desirable. He's locked himself up there for another few years. He's under contract for at least 3 with the Lakers now. And he's done that to become the face of the most iconic franchise in the NBA. Right now, there are still questions about what the team is going to do moving forward, but it's the Lakers, right? Every time they get a star, they get a second to join him. They get LeBron, they trade for Anthony Davis. They sign Shaq as a free agent, then they draft Kobe, et cetera, et cetera. He should feel relatively comfortable that in Los Angeles, he's going to have a chance not only to win championships, but to become an NBA icon with the franchise that's been producing icons for 80 years now.
So the laundry list as to why Luka is a big winner here is pretty obvious. And again, it's a laundry list. There's a lot of reasons why. But in your mind, is there a little bit that he's actually kind of a loser in this deal because of what happened with Dallas?
Yeah, if he had stayed in Dallas, he would have been able to sign a supermax, 5 years. The projection right now would be around $336 million. Obviously, he loses some money in this arrangement through no fault of his own, right? The supermax, the rules are set up so that you can only sign it with either the team that drafted you or a team that traded for you in your first 4 years, situation like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Tyrese Halliburton. He didn't ask for this trade, right? He didn't force it. That's what the Supermax rules were designed to discourage. They don't want you forcing a move to a desirable team and then also getting paid on top of it. He was traded in the dead of night. He had no control over this. He wanted to stay with Dallas. So even though he does get to a desirable situation in Los Angeles, it's not like he got traded to the Wizards.